Round to the nearest hundredth. You need at least hundredths in this case. So 0.98. 0.98 will work. So 5, 7 example. So I've got my normal plane. Agreed? And I'm going to graph it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So it's right here. So this is my direction.
Wait, which one are you doing?
I'm doing the example problem at the very top. Which is why I said 2 plus 3i. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Good? Everybody good? No problem. All right, so now I look at this and go, what is my radius and what's my angle? Agreed? So my radius, I'm going to go, this side's 2, that side's 3, right? So I'm going to go what? Pythagoras. 2 squared plus 3 squared equals c squared. 4 plus 9 equals c squared. Or this should be r squared now because we're talking about radius, because we're now in polar land. So 13 equals r squared, root 13 equals r. We agreed we didn't want to do the imaginary one, sorry, the negative form. Well, we could. It'd just be a different angle, right? We're just not going to mess with that. So far, so good? So r is root 13. How do I find that angle? This is 2. This is 3, Flom. What do I do? Tan. So I'm going to go tangent of theta equals 3 over 2. So theta equals the arc tan of 3 over 2. I'm going to switch my calculator to radians, and I'm going to push all the buttons, and it's hoping to give me something sensible. 0.98. 0.98. So my point is root 13.98. This is called the polar form. So write an arrow in this. It's the polar form for the complex plane. That's what this is. It is not our stopping point. But it's a question I could ask. What's the polar form for the complex plane? We're instead going to do something extraordinarily odd with this. Are we ready for the extraordinarily odd?
Ready.
What if I want to go backwards from this back to here? From polar to rectangular. Just remember what the format was for that? It was r cosine theta, r sine theta. So let's write that down. If I wrote down r, what's r? Root 13 in this case. Cosine 0.98.
Wait, what are you writing?
The formula to get back into the
Comma. Square root of 13. Sine 0.98. Now your calculation should still be in radians. Plug that in and see if you can indeed get 2 plus 3i. Sorry, you get 2 for the first one and 3 for the second one. Do it. Just make sure we're not completely on our own out here.
Put it all together.
No, just the first part. What you're going to do is this one is going to be, hopefully, be our x value, right? This will hopefully be our y value, right?
Well, 2.99.
That's because we rounded to 0.98, right?
Is that going to be our final answer?
That's not our final answer either. We're going one more step. But we're going to be able to skip steps later because you're going to start to see the pattern. There's no reason why you're going to do this from brute force strength. Though you out in the hallway. Get back, learn quick. Learn quick.
So I got 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So you got 2 and 3, which is what we started with. So isn't that good?
Wait, why would you go backwards?
Let's go one more step.
Yeah.
Hey guys, let's say I wanted to write this in a different form. Let's say I wanted to write 2 plus 3i, but I wanted to write it using, I don't know, r and theta. How could I write that? Well, I could, right? You could write it as root 13 cosine of 0.98, correct? Plus, I need the I though, right? I root 13, erasing this part in front of me, root 13 sine of 0.98. Right? Because that's just 2, right? And that's just 3, agreed? So it's the same thing as 2 plus 3i, right?
But I don't even know where the eyes can go.
Oh, I'm going to put the I on this. Remember this component here? The 3 part is the I part, right? So I just put an I on the second part. Because I'm going to finish this up, and then I'm going to show you a cute little form for this. And then after that, I'm going to show you some great math going with just this. Cleaning this up, I might rewrite this as root 13, parentheses, cosine 0.98 plus I sine 0.98. Just pull out the root 13. Will I do that too, right? Now, mathematicians are lazy like everybody else. Writing cosine plus I sine the hundreds of times you have to write in the next couple days is going to make you cry. So what could we shorten cosine plus I sine to?
Cis.
Cis.
You're kidding.
Root 13 cis 0.98.
Where's the eye?
There's the I. Cosine plus I sine cis 0.98 is equal to 2 plus 3i. Now,
Oh my god.
so here's what I want you to do. I want you to take it on faith that for the next word, for the rest of this worksheet, what you're going to do is just convert it to cis form. You're going to take regular rectangular form, and I want you to change it to cis form for me. And I will tell you later why this is a cool thing. But for right now, you shouldn't believe me. That's fine. Just take it on faith a little bit. How did I find the root 13, though?
And then
Do you have to go through all of this? Where did the root 13 come from?
I went from
We found that like step 1. It was the radius, right?
Yes.
And how did I find the 0.98?
angle.
That was just the angle, right? So I don't have to do all this. All I have to do is say, what's my radius? What's my angle?
That would be polar though?
And I don't have to go through all this. And this would be the cis form.
This
But
one
it's
polar.
flat, right? Wait, to find
It's
the root-
cis form. I'm going to leave it there. It's actually rectangular
Yeah,
form.
but
Don't worry
yeah,
about it.
it's interesting, but don't we have to do all of that to find those two numbers? Like, how are we going to go from that directly to getting to cis?
What all we're going to do is you're going to find the radius. Yeah, it's going to go here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to find the angle. And that's going to go
So
here.
that's what we said you're supposed to do.
Right, but what I'm saying is you don't have to go through turning it into polar form,
Oh, no.
distributing the polar form, putting the I back in, distributing it back through, checking your answer. None of that stuff. You're just going to find that magnitude.
It turns into a fun.
You're going to find the magnitude and the argument.
And you want all these in radians.
And I want them all in radians if you'd be so kind. Actually, what does it say in the instructions? Let me read that.
Express each complex number of polar forms. I think it comes out of her mouth. Immediately.
Yeah, put a line through a polar form. Guys, put that line through polar form. Please write in cis form.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah,
Put the, get rid of polar and write it in cis. Because polar form would be this stop here, and I want to skip that stop, frankly. I think you can follow that.
Still be high. Should be.